Hello and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm your host, Tan McGee. We're here today with Trooper Ross Brennan to talk about some ice storms and everything that's kind of going on. Welcome to the show, Ross.
Appreciate you having me.
So, last night we had some unusually cold weather for South Louisiana, a lot of freezing, a lot of problems on the road. And I think it probably made your job a little bit more different and harder than usual. So, why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah, so around 3 o'clock this morning, we had to shut down some major highways in the area because we were experiencing icy conditions on it. As we all know, we had this cold front that came through, pushing this sleet, kind of frozen rain. And so Highway 90 was our largest closure. It was pretty much closed all the way from the Amelia Bridge to Raceland. And of course, we also had the Sunshine Bridge in St. James Parish and the Veterans Memorial Bridge that also closed. And the reason it happens that it's typically the elevated portions of the roadways that will freeze over. You kind of imagine that cold air is hitting not only the top of the road, but also the bottom because there's nothing underneath it, right? It's elevated. Unlike the roadway, where it's a little bit close to the ground, that temperature changes isn't that much. So we put troopers out there as soon as we could. We tried to shut down these roads. We actually had a double man shift where we had the crew that would normally be off today. They came to help assist in the manpower issues that we were having at the time. But we had a few little crashes, nothing too major, but they were kind of weather related with the icy roads. And around 10:30 this morning, that's whenever all the roadways were opened back up. The last one, of course, was the Amelia Bridge, just because it's so expansive and big, and it was kind of like more of that cooler area compared to the other bridges that we had. But DOT was out there. I mean, they were trying hard to put that sand out there to try to get these roadways back open. We even had some convoys set up where troopers were basically allowing traffic to follow behind slowly in some of the areas that still had some ice on the roadway, just to try to get these people moving where they needed to get to. I mean, of course, we ask people not to drive on the roadways best they can to limit that unnecessary travel, but unfortunately, some people, they have to go to work, right? They can't call in sick. They might be like an essential employee or whatever that might be. So we tried doing everything that we could in the area to try to get people safely, and I think it worked out for the most part this morning.
Absolutely. I haven't heard of any kind of major accident. I mean, I'm sure there's the kind of accidents you always see when you have these incidences. I always joke that, we can drive in rain and everything else, but the cold and the snow and the ice is not the Cajuns' the best weather conditions for driving. Nor are we really set up for it too. I mean, it's, people don't really have the kind of tires and chains and all the stuff you see in Colorado. You talked about the manpower. Is there anything else y'all are doing out there? Y'all salting the roads and doing that kind of thing as well?
Yeah. Some parish governments, they were actually, they kind of did some pre-preparations where they put brine and stuff on the roadways. I saw in Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish, they were doing that. And so they kind of had that foresight before that weather came in to be able to kind of mitigate some potential issues. As far as tonight, hopefully we don't have to experience that same issue. I don't see any rain in the forecast, so maybe during the daytime that moisture that is on the roadway will be evaporated and dissipate, and so we won't have to worry about that ice. But we are due for another cold spell tonight. All right, it's going to dip back below those freezing temperatures. So main thing I just suggest for people is, we all know that this cold weather was coming and potential for icy roads. Maybe your route be blocked for whatever reason. Just before you even get on the roadway, have that game plan in place of what would be your alternative route if your normal way you couldn't, that you normally go is not available. Like I said, the elevated bridges and overpasses, those are the first things typically get closed. So maybe try to plan a route if you can that's not on any type of bridges or something like that would potentially have some issues with ice. They have the Waze app that you can use or even the Google Maps, but a good resource is the Louisiana DOTD's website. You have Louisiana 511 is the mobile app, but then there's also the website you can go to 511la.org. And what it is state's DOTD department will post any road closures that they have in the area. And so you can kind of get an idea with this map of where those closures are. Even with the app that you can download, they'll have a GPS feature where it'll guide you to your destination as well. So they have resources out there.
Absolutely. And, normally I kind of make fun of social media, but this is actually a time that Twitter or X, Facebook are good resources if you're getting it from the right person. Because like DOTD, state police, they all have Twitter pages, they have Facebook pages, they're pumping information out for you to go check, which is better than like your neighbor kind of just randomly saying, which he heard is going on. But y'all are available pretty much any time on social media as well. Is that right?
Correct. And so like this morning, the troop notified me what was going on. So immediately at 3:30 this morning, I was pushing out local alerts. And so all updates that we were having as roads were starting to open and different progress was made, I was posting updates to that post. So of course, our social media pages, our Twitter page, and then also LADOTV has their own social media pages. And if you use their Twitter, they have Twitter pages that are specific to your area. So if you just want to follow the Houma DTOD
Correct.
page, you can do that as well. So there are a lot of different options to get that correct information.
Now, do you plan to get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do that? Or is that just like part of the job where you're dead asleep and it's like, wait, we got some ricey roads. You need to get up.
Yeah, that's just part of the job, being a public information officer. Get the info out.
It's probably good sometimes when you don't have the kind of like the schedule everybody else has, but when 3 in the morning comes, it's probably
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know, maybe want to be back on the road again.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, but hey, it all works out in the end.
Absolutely. We all are doing a good job. Is there anything else that the public needs to know right now?
So look, if you do find that your route's blocked for whatever reason, first thing, don't just stop in the middle of the roadway. One of the intersections I was manning, on one of the off ramps in the 90, people were just stopping in the middle of the road, and you had cars coming up behind them doing 70 miles an hour to speed limit. So if you do find your route to be blocked, just keep driving. I know it's unexpected, but pull over the shoulder, pull over into a parking lot, wherever you can, and then figure out. Don't try to figure out in the middle of the roadway, because then you can cause potential crashes to happen, but also congestion and things like that.
Well, look, we really appreciate you having you on, Trooper. You're always great on the show, and we look forward to the next time you can come on and give the public some more information. That concludes our segment with Trooper Brennan. We'll be right back with the next segment. Please stay tuned.